take the blue pill, and your life becomes cherry-picked morals and the thirst to be accepted by society. Or take the red pill, and you stay in Wonderland. Prices increase and files get swept under the rug. Remember, I'm only offering you the truth, nothing more. Oh. They're the same. Hello Internet, welcome to Question Everything, the show that shoves pills so far down your throat you might be able to start thinking an original thought for yourself for once. Also the show that films its intro 3 days later, hence the different hairstyle throughout this video, because I somehow lost 25 minutes worth of footage. So as I am posting this, I had to quickly re-put everything back up and re-film 25 minutes worth of footage. I have been wanting to do this topic for so long that when I was originally planning to start this channel, January of next year, this was going to be my first video because I feel so strongly about this topic, and that topic being the left and the right being much more similar than they think, both sides being hypocrites, pervs, pedophiles, whatever you want to call it. I would like to refer to it as two sides of the same coin. Let's see what this says. I've never read this coin. It was heavy and shiny, so I took it. Let's see what it says. Stay the course, face the storm. Do it afraid. Go for the dream. DJ for president. It fell on my foot. 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 So, whether you're on the left or the right, unfortunately, you're both bozos. I'm specifically talking about the radical on each side that like to be mascots for their political parties. People that were on the left that saw Joe Biden as a godsend, people, hypothetically, of course, because most of y'all don't believe in God, and people on the right who see Donald Trump as what I would like to say the golden calf of the modern era. I think one thing a lot of people get confused about me is how often I criticize the left. They immediately assume I'm on the right. No. I think both of you guys are insane. I would like to say I'm independent, a moderate, just someone who I don't vote. It's another reason I don't vote is because it's funny how all of you who tell me to vote are the same people who, when the election is all said and done, both sides say that it was rigged in the end. So that's funny. When Biden won, the right was saying it was rigged. When Trump won, the left was saying it was rigged. So what's the point if either way, either one side's gonna be mad at you regardless and say that your vote didn't matter. And then technically, if we're thinking rationally, it probably doesn't matter in the end. So I'm just an independent. I am more critical of the left because I was on the left, and I saw it firsthand, the absolute horror stories. I do have a lot of family and friends that are on the right. I also have a lot of family and friends that are independent, and they see both sides equally the same way I do. So here's how I see it during the election specifically. On one side, I saw a billionaire that had a Cabbage Patch Kid doll as his vice president, and on the other side, I saw a man who forgot his own name wearing adult diapers with a hyena. Another thing, one thing I said during the election that made a lot of people on the left mad also was a lot of people said it would be great if we had a black woman president. And I said, okay, what if Candace Owens ever ran for president? And then y'all weren't too happy about that. Even though she is equally as much of a black woman as Kamala Harris is. And even though I could have sworn the two were equal in nationality, apparently that didn't matter. You didn't want a black female president. You wanted a black female president that only believed in what you believed in, because if it was simply because of the fact she was a female and the fact she was African American, you wouldn't care whether it was Candace Owens or Kamala Harris that was in the position. You just wanted it to fit your narrative. I just realized I don't have my glasses on. Let me go get those. I kind of ate with that one because it's so true. The sentence that just came out of my mouth was like so true. You can't say, oh, I specifically want a black female president, and then when you're given one, but she doesn't have the same beliefs as you, you're like, wait, no, she can't be president. She shouldn't be president. Oh, wait, but you wanted a black female president so bad. Oh, wait, no, you wanted a black female president that fit that little fanfic you have going on in your head. Well, unfortunately, this is an archive of your own, and this is real life, and you can't write it for yourself. So you're going to have to adjust with whatever you're given with, or criticize it and die. Oh, and to be specific, by criticize it and die, I meant Israel. Okay. I feel like I have a way and point where I can say some stuff about it, because it's like, oh, talking crap about my own side. But there's going to be a lot of anti-Semitics that are not going to take very kindly to that. And you know exactly who you are. Here, the left libtard party, we have, for some reason, people that really like involving children, people that don't have fully developed frontal lobes into their politics, which, you know, makes no sense. I thought the whole point was we can't let people whose frontal lobes aren't fully developed vote, yet people whose frontal lobes aren't fully developed can do a lot more than just vote. So that's fun. Over here on the left, we got the Special Victims Unit, the Please Pick Me party. And unfortunately, I'm sorry I'm saying this, but a lot of you guys, especially people on the radical left, your ideologies come from simply the fact that you get your politics from TikTok and your news from Instagram. Or Twitter. Probably Twitter. No, I take that back. You get your news from Twitter. You do not step out in the real world enough to know what you're talking about. And it's so funny, the same people clawing against Christian nationalism and stuff would have zero problem if we one day suddenly became a Muslim-run country like the UK. You know, the same country right now where little girls have to carry around weapons so they don't get gang. So it's just so funny to me. There was one post that really stuck out to me that was like, Charlie Kirk was killed because he was homophobic and a bigot. And they were like, well, go visit Palestine and Gaza. Unfortunately, it is true that those places are primarily homophobic, so homophobic as well that if they find out you are part of the LGBTQ plus community, they will throw you off of a building. That is not an opinion, that is a fact. You can Google it. Also, their Gen Z agenda is not going to just switch up and agree with you, because a lot of their teenagers also agree with that ideology. I hope you guys know that the citizens of Gaza and Palestine, God bless them, we do need to save them and protect them. And we need to put an end to this absolute genocide that is just, it's a modern day Holocaust. I would say ×2. No, not even that, ×5 now, because Israel has decided to bully other countries as well. But, this absolute modern day Holocaust, you have to take into consideration that these are people whose politics you are not going to agree with. If you believe Charlie Kirk deserved to die because of his ideologies, I promise you that a lot of people in Palestine and Gaza agreed with him, by their moral law, and also, sorry to say it, Islamic law as well. The Islamic law is quite a conservative rabbit hole that takes a while to fall into and get under. So, you cannot say Charlie Kirk deserved to die for what he said, Where did you come from? My dog just walked over to a box and knocked it over, and I didn't even know where she was. Okay. Why does my dog somehow make an appearance in these videos? You cannot say that Charlie Kirk deserved to die for his ideologies, and then say you stand with the people of Gaza who probably very much agreed with what he said. If you think that he deserved to die for simply saying what his ideologies were, I don't want you to spend 5 minutes in Palestine and Gaza. Again, we need to save them. I think they are our allies more than ever, besides the Palestinians that are saying death to America. And I think they're saying that because we have claimed Israel as our ally. Yeah! Today's drink of choice is coconut milk. DJ needs her cream. We're getting creamy today. Over here, we literally have the modern day Moses coming down with the 10 Commandments, and the Israelites are worshiping the golden calf. Both sides are bringing upon the apocalypse. Both sides crucial for the upcoming Armageddon that is in the book of Revelations. Both sides doing an amazing job at speeding that process up. It's just funny how the same people saying we need to defund the police are the same people saying that schools need more police in them, more security. Literally the opposite of what you guys were saying 2 years ago. And that just got swept under the rug. That completely disappeared. And the same people saying we need to advocate for the rainforest, stop cutting down trees, and find a way to slow down this global warming that is causing 50% of Antarctica to melt, are the same people mass consuming Labubus and crumble cookies. So here's my question. Are you for actually saving the planet or preserving the planet long enough to get your hands on enough products that will get you enough views, get you enough likes, and then when you're through with them and your job here on this planet is done, they can end up in a landfill? That's my question, because it's kind of hypocritical to fall for the absolute propaganda that mass consumption and OnlyFans and things of that nature is, and in fact support it, and then say you're all for independence, and then say you're all for saving the planet and saving our water supply and saving the trees, when really those trees and that water is going straight to you. Like I said, I said this once and I'll say it again. This planet will never get better. There is no reversing Antarctica melting. There is no getting all the dead people from this genocide back. There is no reversing a war. There's not like, a magic switch button and we can do that. Well, technically there is. If you do believe in the gospel of Jesus Christ and believe that, if you do believe in souls and believe that one day there is the possibility of an afterlife, then yes, technically there is, I guess, a great flip of the switch, I suppose, if you believe in that. But if you don't, unfortunately, this is it. And even then, this planet is still slowly burning. And like I said before, it's not going to get better unless two things. One, Jesus was right, and when he comes back, he saves all of this and righteously judges those who deserve it, or the earth explodes. Or we all kill each other in the mass war, but I'm leaning more towards the other two options. As depressing And as awful as that sounds, either way it is an escape. It is a finale, a great big finale. Am I telling you not to advocate for things like recycling and saving ecosystems and saving animals? No, I love all that stuff. I am all for saving animals and helping rebuild ecosystems one step at a time. It is not that. It is simply the fact that we would have to convince everyone on planet Earth to do the same, and that's obviously not going to happen, so you're going to have to wake up from this dream that you have and accept the facts that it's only going to get worse from here. And no matter how awesome the president is or whoever you want comes into office, it's not going to fix anything. Another thing about the left that I experienced a lot, and I said a lot, was, oh, I hate America. America sucks. We need to rebuild this country from the ground up. Yeah, we can. If you hate America that much, you can leave. I wasn't thinking about it at the time when I was saying things like that, but I was like, man, I don't think you realize how free it is living here. Yes, it is dangerous. Yes, we do have psychopaths running around just like every other country in the world. We don't have a dictator like Kim Jong-un, but we have, I don't know, clean running water. We're already more lucky than most of the other countries you say you want to escape to. So, it's just funny to me. You can say, or you should reword it as, I have a better hope for America. I would like to see some change. Saying that you hate the country that most people would literally kill to live in right now for safety reasons, not for anything financially, simply for safety and cleanliness reasons is beyond me. I promise you, you will change your tune once you visit another country. And if you like that other country more, you can gladly move there. Both sides' finances are going up. Biden started inflation and Donald Trump just continued it. It's also not getting better. I feel like that's something on the right that a lot of people are still upset about, rightfully so, because the prices that were supposed to be fixed never got fixed. That's actually something my own family has complained about during this electional run. And over here, we have the Republican piss party that just, they stayed consistent. I'll tell you that much. They have stayed very consistent. With the liberals, I just don't know what they're going to believe one day. I don't know what their ideologies or morals are going to become because they're constantly ever changing, or what the next big trend is going to be. No, Republicans have stayed consistent with their speech and their beliefs. Are they good beliefs and speeches? No, I don't know, but they've stayed consistent. They've stayed consistent, and it is... I think that is also why a lot of people on the left say something like, we can't go back. I feel like there are a lot of people on the right who feel like this is still 1960 and that it should have stayed that way. I'm sorry, personally, I don't want to live in a world where I can't sit next to a person of color simply because they are a person of color. And I'm sorry, I don't want to live in a world where... And I'm sorry, this might just be me, I guess, but I don't want to live in a world where I can't go to school with children of color simply because the news tells me not to. I am a person that believes, one, there were people of color running the world far before white people were, and there is a history behind it. Unfortunately, there is a history and statistic behind every race. Unfortunately, that is the truth, and just as much as there is a statistic in history for people of color, there is a statistic and history for white people as well. So if we're leaning towards who the victim is and who the suspect is and who the persecutor is, it's pretty even playing field because we're all human. It's an even playing field, not because of the race, not because of what your ideologies are, or your politics, or your religion, or where you come from. It's an even playing field because we're human, and it should be an even playing field because I believe every skin color and every man and women should be treated as equal. And with that, sorry if that sounds a little too biblical, but I believe that also means you should be judged equally. And what I mean by that is a person of color and a white person should get the same charges for the same crime. It should not be a gender or a race war in the comments section because a human being committed a crime. And all the comments are like, oh, it's the usual suspect. See, it wasn't a person of color. Oh, see, it wasn't a white person. It was still a human that committed the crime. It was still a human that did the bad thing. And I promise you that on the other side of the world, there's a person of the opposite skin color that did the exact same thing that they just did. And you're quiet about it. That's what racism is. I don't think you understand. We're not talking about the left and right now. I actually want to bring this up. Because that's what racism is. And both sides favor from it. Let's talk about racism for a second, okay? One side would do everything in their power not to have a president of color. And I think that includes Candace Owens. I think if Candace Owens ran for president, even though she is with the conservative ideology, people would still not be happy with it because we need someone who is a man, someone who is possibly not a person of color. I feel like there would be a lot of people on the right who would be happy with it, people who really like Candace Owens, but I feel like there would also be a good portion of people that are against it simply because of the person she was born to be. And I think on the left, we have these people who completely forgot how history works, and on the left we also have people that are worshiping, literally worshiping, and almost it's seeming like they're attempting to be victims so they can relate to these people of color that have actual stories, when these people of color are the ones telling them to shut up and that they have no idea what they've gone through. So over here, we have the victim party that wants to be part of the victim party and wants to identify as something to get them, get out of jail free cards so they can identify with the person of color. And over here, we have people who don't want people of color at all. That is racism. I'm sorry, but you over here claiming you have all these struggles and identifying yourself with the people of color that were struggling and adding your ideologies into the same group, into the same party, into the same system as people of color because, I don't know, you were bullied online is the same amount of racism as someone over here straight up being racist and saying slurs and stuff like that. You think you're helping? You're treating them like dogs. You're treating them like dogs at a dog show. Some of the time, you on the left sound like the same people who say, well, I can say it because I have a black friend. You can. It's a free country. You're no different than them. Oh, I fought for BLM. Does that mean I'm one of you guys now? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Do you know how many people, oh my gosh. Do you know how many people of color were actually against BLM? Because they were like, hey, all of you on the left, why are you guys just suddenly deciding to care about us? Y'all could have been doing this throughout history. But you're deciding to do it now. So, just because you decided to start advocating for someone at a different time doesn't mean that you care about the cause. It means that you're following a trend. There are actual human beings from both sides who were always advocating against racism. Someone like me, I was big against racism since like kindergarten. I always had like these Martin Luther King and like, I always had these like essays I would write because unfortunately I grew up in an area where racism was quite common. Like we had parents that did not want their kids hanging with a child of color in my neighborhood, and I never understood it. Because I'm sorry, children don't see a black person or an Indian kid or a Mexican kid or a kid from Afghanistan or or even an Israeli child. they see a child. And we've lost sight of that as humans. We've made race political. We have politicized race. And from the left and the right, that is the most racist thing you can do. Oh, I would love a black female president. I would like a good president. Okay, if it ends up being a woman of color, cool, awesome. Is she a good president? Good. Oh, is it a man of color? Okay, good. Is it a German dude that just decided to run for president one day? Okay, I couldn't care less. Are they a good president? Good. You have politicized race and gender. That is the most misogynistic thing you can do. You have turned the way someone is born into a politic. Both sides have done it. So my message to the left at this moment is the same thing I'm going to tell the right. Think for yourself. Think for yourself before you open your mouth. Before you open your mouth, ask yourself, do I really care about this cause, or did I just see it online and want to get brownie points? Because I promise you, you could not give less of a crap about it until it was a trending hashtag. And for all you on the right that think just because I'm bashing the left, I'm not about to bash you, you got another thing coming. But DJ, what about the Democrats? Well, I think we can all agree that the Democrats, what about the Democrats? There's three political parties here. Democrats and liberals are the same thing. Tell me a few things that y'all two disagree on. I'll wait. And here in Retard Bill on the right, like I said, you cannot be mad at them for making fun of Charlie Kirk's death and then adding on to what's going on in the genocide right behind you. You can turn around. Oh, it's there. You know how here on the left, we have a lot of people that have things in their bios like, peace, love, everyone's accepted here, this is a safe space, and then they'll go into comment sections telling people to kill themselves that they disagree with. Yeah. It's very similar to how y'all over here have Bible verses in your bio and you couldn't be further from Jesus. I'm sorry, but there's as many pedophiles in a pride parade as there is in a Catholic church. Like, as long as there's grown men around, there are pedophiles. And that's not me trying to be like, oh, all men are bad. It's just true. No matter what side you're on. I mean, heck, y'all have those two dudes that adopted a ton of kids just to traffic them. And they were like hosting pride parties at their house. Oh, but you don't claim them. Oh, but they're not really your side. Okay, here's the funny kicker. Just because someone on your side does something horrific and stands for the same morals you do, you can't just not claim them. You can't. You can't just say, oh, we don't claim them. They don't belong to us. Unfortunately, if you're Republican, you can't just say, oh, we don't claim Trump. We don't like him. You're in the same party. You can't. You're not the president. You're not the president of politics. You don't pick and choose who gets to stay and who gets kicked out of your own political party. It's free reign, it's a free country, and that's the point of free speech. Unfortunately, that free speech law also abides to pedophiles. So you're both hypocrites. So you both think murder is funny. So you're both pedophiles. So you're both standing by pedophiles. You both of you, voted for someone who secretly is, one, probably both working together, two, secretly goes against all the morals that they claim you're voting for. All the policies, all the laws, all of it. Not only are their laws actually very similar, and they just want you two to argue and fight So there are two sides and not one that comes together and wishes for a new third person. Because that's how politics works. You've fallen for the golden calf propaganda. Unfortunately, that is also exactly what happened to Moses when he came down with the 10 Commandments. You have fallen for the golden calf, and you are worshiping it. Mass consumption, both sides. I'm sorry, both sides of the same coin. I will say it till I'm in my casket. Mass consumption, pedophiles, wishing death upon people. There is so much you two can agree on. We should all be friends. We should all be friends. It fell on my foot. In my opinion, you're both evil. You're both really weird. And with all that being said, with all that disgusting things I just said about both sides being said, actually, no, I'm not done with this side. And for anyone calling the left a bunch of woke sissies, if you believed Trump when he said that there were no Epstein files, even though he himself specifically said that there were, only to months later say he was lying, if you believe that bullcrap that you should have smelt from a mile away, you're no better than them. You're probably worse. You know why? Because there's cannibalism, child trafficking, and probably various counts of murder in those files. Those files that you're not fighting for, those files that made so many Trumpies turn completely away from him. Yeah, I want to say education. You know what? The education system did fail me. I've stuttered every other sentence I've said. I'm gonna have to edit this for hours. I'm gonna kill. Not anybody else. Myself. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. No, I didn't. The education system failed us. We need to replace algebra. I want to say with politics, but not even with politics, because no. You people with frontal lobes fully developed can't even vote. I'm not letting a bunch of kids do it. Not even politics. We need to replace algebra with a moral system. Well, we can all agree that war is bad. We can all agree that slavery was bad. We can all agree the Holocaust was bad. You know out of two of those things we can't even agree on. That's the funny part. We can all agree murder's bad. No! We can't agree on that either. You do realize that, right? Those four things I just mentioned. War, the Holocaust, murder, slavery. To a normal person, all four of those things were bad. To someone chronically online who thinks they're right all the time, only one, and even if that, was on their list of what's good and what's bad. The list I thought we could all agree on is slowly diminishing. The list I thought that we could finally all have a say in and stick it to the man for, no, we can't agree on that either. I think there's some that would say war is good, too. So screw it. There's no morals anymore. We're doomed. Like I said, we're screwed until Christ comes back. Isn't that scary? Isn't that sad and scary? You should be scared. You should be scared that this is the way things are going. Because I can't believe I'm about to quote Charlie, but when people stay silent, bad things happen. When voices go silent, bad things happen. When you stop begging for the Epstein files, you're gonna not get them. When you start laughing at assassination and gore videos, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You've started a whole generation of future serial killers. Hell, you've started a whole generation of people that don't think murder is even a bad thing anymore, as long as the person you're murdering disagrees with you. I am so passionate about this that this is the first video I don't have a list. This paper right here is the hot topics that I wanted to use for my last video. I write them down before I start filming so I don't forget anything that I wanted to talk about. I was so confident and I already knew what I was going to say because I've been saying it over and over and over again and it hasn't gone through your thick skull that I didn't even need a piece of paper to tell me what to say. This time I just already knew because y'all pissed me off to that extent. Common sense isn't common anymore. Murder is exceptional in some cases. The Holocaust was debatable. And you know what? Maybe in some cases even war is acceptable. The sentences that just came out of my mouth should sound insane, and I should have been locked up for saying them. Even though it was just a hypothetical, even the fact it was a hypothetical is so insane. But no, that's the normal. That is a normal conversation in 2025. That's not a weird... What I just said wasn't a weird thing to say anymore. That was a normal conversation in 2025. And then after that conversation, it gets violent. So there you have it, folks. Unless you want to walk past the right and left and keep going straight, we're not going to get anywhere at this point. And whether you're right wing or left wing, unfortunately, at the end of the day, you're both wings on the same plane. And we all know who the pilots are. Oh yeah. It is getting real up in here. Keep your eyes open. Don't say anything about the Talmud. And remember,